Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you wonderful ladies and gentlemen joining us today. I'm so glad to have you back with us. Picture this, if you will. You're standing at the bottom of the stairs looking up, and a thought crosses your mind. I used to walk up these without a second thought. Now I feel like I need a moment just to gather myself, maybe even take a deep breath before I start. Or perhaps you've just finished watching a captivating show or reading the daily paper, thoroughly engrossed, and when it's time to stand up from your favorite comfy sofa, your legs just hesitate. You find yourself leaning further forward than you used to, bracing your arms on the armrests, maybe even pushing a little more vigorously with your hands, and still, you feel like your legs are saying, "Whoa there, give me a second, I'm not quite ready." That feeling isn't always painful. Sometimes it's just a general unsettling weakness, as if the sheer power and steady command you once had isn't quite there anymore. It's a subtle shift, but one that can make everyday movements feel surprisingly challenging. Do you see yourself in those images? Does any part of that resonate with your recent experiences? If so, you are definitely not alone. This isn't just a handful of people. For many individuals over the age of 60 across America, that slow burn in your thighs, the way your legs might subtly tremble when you try to get up from the sofa, or how your balance feels just a tiny bit off almost imperceptibly at first when you're simply walking across the room. These sensations don't always, and I repeat, don't always have to be a permanent part of aging. It's a common misconception, a story we often tell ourselves, but it's not the whole truth. Sometimes there might be a key factor quietly impacting your body, a vital nutrient you're low on without even realizing it. And here's an important insight. This one imbalance, or perhaps a combination of a few, can gradually affect your strength, making it progressively harder to climb stairs with ease, to get up confidently from a chair, or to walk across a room or a park path with the full, steady confidence you once had. It's not about losing your spirit. It's about making sure your body has the right building blocks it needs. But there's truly good news, and I want you to hold on to this hope. These issues often have solutions, but it starts with understanding your body's needs. You see, getting older doesn't always have to automatically mean growing weaker, more frail, or less independent. The vibrant energy, the reassuring steadiness, and the robust strength in your legs can often be supported and improved with the right knowledge and approach. In this video, we're not just going to talk about any vitamins. We're going to dive deep into 3 key, often unsung vitamins that are recognized for their role in keeping your legs strong, your balance steady, and supporting your precious independence, allowing you to live life on your terms. These aren't exotic supplements or fleeting internet fads. They're real, fundamental, medically backed nutrients that your body benefits from as you navigate the journey of aging. I'll walk you through what each one does at a cellular level, how to know if you might be running a little low, and most importantly, what tangible steps you can discuss with your healthcare provider starting today to help you move with renewed energy and zest again. So if you've been feeling more tired than usual, a bit wobbly on your feet, or just not quite like your vibrant self lately, please stay with me. What you learn today might offer valuable insights into what's been holding you back and open the door to a more active, confident future. Before we dive into the fascinating details, I want to offer an extremely important reminder for your safety and well-being. All information in this video is for general educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have seen or read here. Your health is your top priority, and a direct conversation with your doctor is always the best first step. And before we dive in, I genuinely love to hear from you. Have you noticed your legs getting weaker, or do stairs feel tougher lately? Perhaps you've had a minor stumble or two that made you pause. Please share your experience in the comments below, or just say hello and let us know where you're watching from. Your insights can help so many others feel less alone. And don't forget to click like on this video and subscribe to our channel. Here we're building a vibrant and supportive community full of strength, encouragement, smart habits, and shared wisdom for living your best life after 60. Join us. We live in an age where information is literally everywhere at our fingertips. Yet sometimes the simplest, most fundamental, and most effective pathways to wellness can be overlooked amidst complex health discussions. Society often labels mobility difficulties and a general decline in physical strength in older adults as just old age, something inevitable that you simply have to accept. But that, my friends, is a perception we have an opportunity to reframe. Our bodies are truly amazing machines, incredibly complex, yet remarkably resilient, and they possess an incredible capacity for self-support and renewal when given the right fuel and consistent maintenance. Think of it this way: if your beloved car starts sputtering, making strange noises, or losing power on the highway, you wouldn't just shrug your shoulders and say, "Oh, it's old. I guess it's just meant to break down." Of course not. You'd immediately check the tires, the oil level, the air filter, perhaps the spark plugs. Similarly, when your legs start feeling heavy, when your confidence in each and every step wanes, when getting up from a chair feels like lifting a truck, that's precisely when we need to consider supporting our bodies and explore if there's a vital nutrient missing, or if some essential resource is running low. Millions of Americans, especially those over 60, are quietly seeking ways to address these often dismissed symptoms. They may give up cherished favorite activities, they may limit going out to see friends and family, they may live with a nagging underlying fear of falling sometimes because they believe it's an inevitable part of aging. But today we're going to explore some simple yet incredibly beneficial insights that can profoundly support your daily life and help bring back that bounce in your step. We're going to start with one of the quietest helpers in your body, yet one that has a significant impact on your muscle strength, bone density, and overall balance. A vitamin that until relatively recently we primarily thought about only in connection with bones. But now evolving research shows its role extends far beyond just bone health, directly influencing your physical vitality. Now let's talk about the first and perhaps a very important vitamin that could be a factor in why your legs don't feel like they used to. Let me ask you this: have you ever been sitting comfortably in your favorite chair, maybe after watching a captivating show or reading the daily paper, thoroughly engrossed, and when it's time to stand up, your legs just hesitate? You find yourself leaning further forward than you used to, bracing your arms firmly on the armrests, maybe even pushing a little more vigorously with your hands, and still you feel like your legs are saying, "Whoa there, give me a second, I'm not quite ready to bear that weight." It's not always a sharp, painful sensation. Sometimes it's just a general unsettling weakness, as if the inherent power isn't quite there anymore, as if your internal battery is constantly low. That's a very familiar scene for many people after 60. But here's what's often an insightful discovery: what feels like just getting older might actually be your body needing support in a specific area, often something that can be addressed. Not a lack of energy in the broad sense, not a dip in motivation, but potentially a deficiency in a crucial nutrient, vitamin D. You've probably heard a lot about vitamin D and its well-established role in keeping your bones strong and healthy. And yes, that's incredibly important. Your bones absolutely need vitamin D to effectively absorb calcium from your diet, and without enough, bones can indeed become brittle and prone to fractures, leading to osteoporosis. But what we're learning more about now through ongoing research is that vitamin D also plays a direct and vital role in keeping your muscles strong, especially those large, powerful muscles in your lower body that you rely on every single day to stand up, maintain your balance, and confidently climb stairs. Think of your muscles not just as big bundles of tissue. They are intricate living systems that require constant, clear instruction and robust support to function optimally. And fascinatingly, they actually have special little locks called receptors, and vitamin D fits right into these receptors like a precisely cut key. Once it's in there, it acts as a signal, helping your muscles contract properly, efficiently, and with full power. It also plays a critical role in how your muscles rebuild themselves after activity, and it's intimately involved in how your body balances itself when you move, walk, or even just stand still. But if you're not getting enough, if that vital support is low, suddenly your body might start finding those everyday movements which used to be effortless, harder and harder to manage. To understand this better, imagine your muscles as a finely tuned orchestra. Each instrument, or more specifically, each individual muscle fiber, needs clear, concise sheet music and an excellent conductor to play in perfect harmony and at the right tempo. Vitamin D is like that conductor, ensuring that each muscle fiber receives the precise cues and performs optimally, producing the necessary force. It directly influences the production of certain proteins that are absolutely vital for muscle contraction and growth. When vitamin D levels are insufficient, these intricate cellular processes slow down, leading to a noticeable decline in overall muscle quality, power, and endurance. This isn't just about feeling tired in a general sense. It's about the very fundamental mechanics of how your muscles generate force and respond to commands from your brain. For instance, the type I2 or fast twitch muscle fibers, which are absolutely crucial for quick, powerful actions like catching yourself from a sudden stumble, pushing off to quickly get up from a chair, or reacting swiftly to an unexpected obstacle, are particularly sensitive and vulnerable to vitamin D deficiency. Losing strength specifically in these fibers can dramatically impact your agility, your reaction time, and your overall confidence in moving freely. Now here's where we can see the impact backed by research. This isn't just about how we feel subjectively. Various scientific studies have explored this connection. In a large comprehensive study conducted across Europe, scientists observed that seniors with consistently low vitamin D levels were more than twice as likely to experience significant muscle weakness. This wasn't just a feeling of general fatigue, but a measurable impact on functional abilities. The kind that might show up when you struggle to get out of bed in the morning, find it difficult to lift your legs high enough to walk up steps without dragging, or find carrying groceries across the room becomes more challenging. Just consider this observation. A significant lack of vitamin D could contribute to a reduced ability to perform basic daily tasks. Another compelling study from Trinity College Dublin indicated something similar. People over 60 with chronically low vitamin D had nearly 3 times the risk of poorer muscle performance compared to those with healthy optimal levels. Just think about that for a moment. Supporting your body by addressing this vital vitamin imbalance could play a significant role in improving your ability to navigate stairs with more ease and confidence rather than needing a handrail. I've reviewed numerous studies on this connection, and it offers valuable insights. For example, a meta-analysis published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society indicated that vitamin D supplementation may improve muscle strength in older adults with a deficiency. Or another critical study focused specifically on individuals with a history of falls, and they found that optimizing vitamin D levels might be associated with a reduced risk of recurrent falls, contributing to enhanced safety and peace of mind. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about supporting your physical capabilities, preserving your autonomy, and potentially improving your overall quality of life. But perhaps a notable sign that can be associated with significant vitamin D deficiency. Some older adults, as their condition evolves, might notice changes in their gait, sometimes described as a waddling gait, where their body sways when they walk. This can occur if hip and thigh muscles lack adequate power or stability. It's important to understand that muscle weakness can impact balance, which in turn may increase the risk of falls. Maintaining good muscle strength is a key part of staying active and safe. Beyond that, many individuals often report a general feeling of inexplicable heaviness in their legs, or a sensation of dragging their feet even after seemingly adequate rest. Simple, formerly effortless actions, like getting out of a low car seat, or even just walking from the kitchen to the living room, can unexpectedly start to feel like a more substantial, tiring effort. This gradual shift in strength and vitality may lead to a reduction in overall physical activity, which can unfortunately create a cycle where less movement leads to further muscle weakening, potentially worsening symptoms. This can also impact your social life and mental well-being, as the effort of going out standing for long periods or participating in formerly enjoyed activities might become more challenging or a source of concern. So why does this widespread deficiency happen so often, so insidiously as we age? Well, there are several interconnected reasons, and they all combine to create this common, often undiagnosed problem. First, and quite significantly, our skin simply becomes less efficient at making vitamin D from direct sunlight. When you were younger, perhaps a child or a teenager, just a few minutes of direct unprotected sun exposure might have helped your body produce a significant healthy amount of vitamin D. But as we get older, that natural ability to synthesize vitamin D from sunlight significantly declines, sometimes by as much as 75% or even more. So even if you spend a reasonable amount of time outdoors, you might still not be producing nearly enough. Second, a major factor is that we as a society might spend more time indoors, especially here in the US. With our increasingly modern lifestyles, many people spend a large part of their day inside, whether working, watching TV, engaging in hobbies, or simply resting. Or perhaps, and understandably so, we've been told to avoid too much direct sun exposure due to legitimate concerns about skin cancer and accelerated skin aging. And even when we are outside, things like sunscreen or long sleeves also block the crucial UVB rays we need to produce this vitamin naturally within our skin. While diligent skin protection is incredibly important for preventing sun damage, we need to find a healthy, informed balance. Third, geographic and climate factors also play a critical role often overlooked. If you live in higher latitudes like the northern states of the US, during the long winter months where direct sunlight isn't strong enough or the angle is too low for many months of the year, your body will have a much harder time producing vitamin D. Even in the summer, the angle of the sun might not be optimal enough to maximize vitamin D production if you're not outdoors at very specific times of the day, typically midday. Fourth, there are various medical factors that can interfere. Certain chronic health conditions, such as Crohn's disease, celiac disease, which impair nutrient absorption, or kidney and liver diseases, can severely affect your body's ability to absorb or properly convert vitamin D into its active form. Even some common medications that many older adults routinely take, like certain anticonvulsants or various weight loss drugs, can directly interfere with vitamin D metabolism and absorption. Fifth, there's the critical food side of it. While you can certainly get some vitamin D from naturally rich fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, tuna, or sardines, or from fortified foods like eggs and certain types of fortified milk, the simple truth is, most of us just don't eat enough of those specific things consistently every single day to get the optimal amounts we truly need. The typical modern American diet often, unfortunately, falls significantly short on natural vitamin D sources. While fortified milk is a common dietary source for many, a considerable number of older adults limit dairy intake due to digestive issues, lactose intolerance, or simply personal preference, further reducing their intake. Beyond muscle weakness and balance insights, vitamin D's potential role may extend to other areas you might not immediately consider. For example, do you often experience unexplained bone and joint aches? Healthy vitamin D levels are important for bone and muscle comfort. Do you find yourself getting sick more often than usual? Vitamin D plays a crucial role in supporting your immune system, helping your body respond to infections. Persistent fatigue, even when you're getting enough sleep, can sometimes be an indicator. Some research also suggests a connection between optimal vitamin D levels and a positive mood, especially during the darker winter months. While it's certainly not the only factor for these complex conditions, it's an important piece of the overall health puzzle. Consider if you've ever felt a persistent mental fogginess or found yourself more irritable without a clear reason, particularly if these symptoms worsen in winter or with less sun exposure. Exploring your vitamin D status could offer valuable insight. This connection between physical well-being and mental state is an area of ongoing study. Supporting your physical health by addressing nutrient needs can sometimes contribute to a sense of well-being and a more optimistic outlook. So what proactive steps can you take starting today? Step 1. Talk to your doctor and specifically ask for a test. If anything I've said resonates with you, if the heavy legs, the slow, effortful rise from a chair, the feeling of needing to brace yourself when stepping up a curb, or the general feeling of unsteadiness sounds familiar, please don't hesitate. Ask your doctor to test your vitamin D levels. It's a simple, straightforward blood test, and it can reveal whether this might be a significant part of your mobility problem, a piece of the puzzle you've been missing. Many people, unfortunately, are never tested for vitamin D until they begin to exhibit more severe, debilitating symptoms. Don't wait for that point. An open, honest conversation with your doctor about these specific symptoms, even if they seem minor, can be a crucial, life-changing first step towards reclaiming your strength. Specifically ask about your 25-hydroxy vitamin D level, as this is the universally recognized and best form to accurately assess your overall vitamin D status. Step 2. Seriously consider incorporating a daily vitamin D supplement, especially if you're over 65, where the risk factors are so much higher. Most reputable health organizations, based on extensive research, suggest that a daily intake of 800 to 1,000 IU international units of vitamin D is generally safe and highly effective for older adults, acting as a solid foundational dose. Some individuals, based on their specific deficiency levels or health conditions, may need more, potentially significantly more, but it is always best to confirm the exact dosage with your doctor before taking high doses to ensure safety and efficacy. There are two main forms of vitamin D commonly used in supplements: D2-ergocalciferol and D3-cholecalciferol. Clinical research consistently shows that vitamin D3 is generally considered far more effective at raising blood levels and maintaining them optimally over time due to its superior bioavailability. So when you're choosing a supplement, make it a point to look for vitamin D3 prominently on the label. Pay very close attention to the dosage listed on the supplement label. Some capsules might contain 2,000 IU or even 5,000 IU in a single pill. So be absolutely sure you're taking a dose consistent with your doctor's specific recommendation or the established health organization guidelines. A helpful tip for maximizing absorption: take your vitamin D supplement with a meal that contains some healthy fats, as vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. You might also consider supplements that ingeniously combine vitamin D with vitamin K2. Why K2? Because vitamin K2 plays an incredibly important synergistic role in directing calcium precisely to your bones and teeth, preventing it from accumulating in unwanted places like your arteries or other soft tissues where it can cause problems. This clever combination helps ensure that the calcium you absorb thanks to vitamin D is used correctly and beneficially, enhancing benefits for both robust bone health and crucial heart health. Step 3. Optimize safe, sensible sun exposure. While it's important to be cautious about excessive sun, don't avoid it entirely. Try to get just a little safe sun exposure when you can, aiming for around 15 to 30 minutes a few times a week, depending on where you live geographically and the specific time of year. A gentle, unhurried walk outside in the early morning or late afternoon sun can do more for your overall health and well-being than you might imagine, providing a natural boost of vitamin D. Remember, your skin synthesizes vitamin D most effectively without sunscreen during these short, targeted exposures. However, this absolutely does not mean you should overexpose yourself to the sun or get sunburned. The goal is moderate, smart exposure. In North America, the best time for natural sun exposure for vitamin D synthesis is typically between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. during the spring and summer months, when UVB rays are strongest and most effective for vitamin D production. You can start with a brief 10-15 minutes and gradually increase your time if your skin tolerates it, while always avoiding any redness or sunburn. For individuals with darker skin tones, they might naturally need a bit longer exposure because the higher melanin content in their skin acts as a natural sunscreen, filtering out some of the UVB rays. Step 4. Boost your diet with vitamin D-rich foods. While it's admittedly difficult to get enough vitamin D solely from diet alone, to correct a deficiency, including vitamin D-rich foods is still a very important foundational part of your overall strategy. Prioritize these sources. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, tuna, and sardines are truly excellent sources. For example, a serving of farmed salmon might contain around 400–1,000 IU of vitamin D, while wild-caught salmon can contain significantly more, sometimes upwards of 1,000 IU per serving. Try incorporating them into your meals twice a week. Fortified milk and dairy products. Many cow's milk, soy milk, almond milk, and oat milk varieties commonly found in U.S. supermarkets are fortified with vitamin D. Always check the label to ensure they are. Fortified orange juice. Some popular brands of orange juice are also fortified with vitamin D, offering a dairy-free option. Egg yolks. While not as high in vitamin D as fatty fish, egg yolks still contribute a small but meaningful amount. Beef liver provides a small amount of vitamin D along with other essential nutrients. Mushrooms. Certain types of mushrooms, particularly those specifically exposed to UV light, which may be indicated on the packaging, can uniquely contain vitamin D2. Try to incorporate these sources intentionally into your daily diet. For instance, you could start your day with a glass of vitamin D fortified milk, enjoy salmon for dinner a couple of times a week, or add eggs to your breakfast rotation. Getting creative with recipes can make this an enjoyable dietary shift. You might not notice a dramatic change overnight. It's not a magic switch. But with consistency, many people share that their legs start feeling noticeably lighter after a few weeks. They describe having more get up and go, a renewed sense of ease in their step. I have a wonderful friend named Evelyn, a vibrant 72-year-old woman who had at one point felt truly held back by persistent leg weakness and a concern about her balance. She told me that after a period of consistently taking her prescribed vitamin D supplement and making an effort to walk daily in her backyard, she began to find it easier to stand up from her garden stool without needing to rely heavily on the fence for support. Before or after gardening, she'd often share she needed assistance or felt very challenged to stand upright. That feeling of dependency had made her feel genuinely less capable. Now she smiles broadly and says, "I didn't think I'd ever feel that independent in my garden again." She used to absolutely love gardening, but the concern about movement had made her hesitate. Now that joy has returned. That's what we hope for you, small yet meaningful improvements that add up, quiet confidence that blossoms, and a sense of strength returning because you're providing your body with what it may need. And once you begin that journey, many daily movements can become more manageable. From climbing stairs to walking longer distances in your neighborhood, to simply standing tall with a more confident posture. Another inspiring example is Mr. Arthur, a remarkable 78-year-old veteran in Texas. He was an incredibly active man throughout his life, who cherished hiking rugged trails, but in recent years he noticed every single step felt heavy, and he sometimes stumbled for no clear reason, causing concern about falling. His doctor checked his vitamin D levels and they were surprisingly low. After starting a daily 2000 IU vitamin D3 supplement, along with making a conscious effort to walk in the park in the mornings, he started noticing a positive difference after about 6 to 8 weeks. "My legs feel recharged," he exclaimed with a grin. "I no longer feel as concerned about stumbling on uneven paths. I've even confidently rejoined my hiking club, something I thought might not be possible." This improvement wasn't just physical, it was about him potentially regaining his passion and freedom. Remember, getting enough vitamin D is part of a supportive health strategy, not a miraculous pill that will instantly turn you into an Olympic athlete overnight. It's a gradual, gentle, yet very beneficial and consistent process. It's akin to putting the right fuel into a car that may have been running on an insufficient type for too long. You might not hear the engine roar immediately, but over time, its performance, efficiency, and reliability can significantly improve. And here's a deeper, more holistic thought. Vitamin D doesn't just support muscle strength and bone density. It also plays a role in keeping your nervous system running smoothly. There's an intricate interplay between your bones, your muscles, and your nerves, forming a cohesive system. And vitamin D appears to be an important factor connecting them. When you prioritize and support your vitamin D levels, you're not just helping your muscles. You're potentially contributing to better overall coordination, improved balance, and supporting overall health and vitality that radiates from within. It's about supporting your body's natural functions. Now that we've unlocked the immense muscle and balance power of vitamin D, there's another quiet, often overlooked deficiency that can sneak up on you and profoundly throw off your entire coordination. Not necessarily in your muscles, but more critically in your nerves themselves. It's the next vital piece of the puzzle, and it's every bit as important, if not more so, than the first. Let's move on to it, because the road to better movement, enhanced safety, and greater independence doesn't stop here. Let me paint you another vivid picture. You're walking casually across the living room, perhaps heading for the kitchen, nothing unusual or challenging about the floor. But then for a split second, you feel like your feet aren't quite where they should be, or your brain isn't receiving accurate information about their position. Maybe you stumble just a tiny bit, or perhaps there's a strange, persistent numbness in your toes or the soles of your feet that's difficult to describe, a feeling of pins and needles, or like your foot has gone to sleep. You shake it off, dismissing it. "I'm just tired today," you tell yourself, attributing it to a long day or lack of sleep. But deep down, you sense something feels a little off, a subtle disconnect. If that scenario sounds familiar, even mildly, you're absolutely not imagining things. And the problem might not be in your muscles at all or your bones. It might be in the very delicate wiring that tells your muscles exactly what to do, how to move, and where they are in space. That's precisely where vitamin B12 steps onto the stage. B12 is one of those essential vitamins we rarely think about, rarely give credit to, until it's critically missing. It doesn't typically get the spotlight like vitamin D for bones, or vitamin C for immunity, or even calcium. But in reality, it's the quiet, diligent guardian of your entire nervous system, and consequently, your balance. It works tirelessly behind the scenes, ensuring the protective coating, like vital insulation, around your nerves remains healthy, intact, and functional. This ensures that electrical signals, critical commands from your brain, reach your legs, your arms, and every part of your body exactly the way they're supposed to, swiftly and accurately. Picture your nervous system as an incredibly complex high-speed network of electrical wires, similar to the intricate wiring within your home running throughout your entire body, transmitting crucial information at lightning speed every second of every day. Each of those wires or nerve fibers is encased in a vital insulating sheath called myelin. Myelin is a fatty coating remarkably similar to the plastic insulation around an electrical cord that helps nerve signals travel quickly and efficiently without getting short-circuited, leaking, or becoming distorted. Vitamin B12 plays an absolutely crucial foundational role in maintaining, repairing, and even producing this essential myelin sheath. Without enough B12, the delicate nerves in your legs, especially those in your feet and calves, start to misfire. The myelin sheath weakens, becomes damaged, or even begins to degrade, causing nerve signals to travel slower, become interrupted, or even get severely distorted. You might feel persistent, tingling, uncomfortable numbness, or even a burning sensation, particularly in your extremities. Some people vividly describe it as feeling like they're walking on cotton, or that their feet have gone half asleep, a constant irritating pins and needles sensation. This uncomfortable and often alarming sensation, clinically known as peripheral neuropathy, isn't just a minor annoyance or a temporary discomfort. It's a serious sign that your body's critical communication system is faltering, severely compromising your connection to the ground. Imagine trying to drive a car with faulty wiring. The dashboard lights might flicker erratically, the engine might sputter intermittently, and the steering could feel unresponsive, making driving perilous. That's a bit like what happens when your sophisticated nervous system lacks sufficient B12. The signals from your brain to your feet and back aren't clean, crisp, and immediate. This can manifest as frustrating difficulty buttoning a shirt, or tying shoelaces, a noticeable loss of dexterity in your fingers, or even a slight, inexplicable tremor in your hands, all indicating broader nerve involvement beyond just the legs. The impact on daily life is significant and often devastating. Simple tasks that require fine motor skills, precise coordination, or steady balance become frustratingly, unexpectedly difficult, leading to a profound loss of independence and a deeply unsettling sense of growing frailty. It affects everything from pouring a cup of coffee to writing a letter. But here's the part that truly matters and offers valuable insight. When those vital nerves are compromised, your brain may not precisely tell where your feet are on the ground at any given moment. This is a crucial sense called proprioception, your body's unconscious ability to sense its own position and movement in space. It fundamentally helps us walk smoothly, stand steadily, and move confidently without constantly looking down at our feet or feeling like we're navigating in the dark. When proprioception is negatively affected by a B12 deficiency, it can make it more challenging to balance, to walk in a straight line, and to climb stairs without needing to constantly look down. I once spoke with a man 68 years old, a former avid golfer, who told me he felt like he literally had to watch his legs when walking, as if they weren't fully under his conscious control, a strange, disembodied feeling. It turned out he had a B12 deficiency that had gone unnoticed for a while. He wasn't overtly tired or sick in other ways, he just felt a bit unsteady. And like many, he initially thought that was just a natural part of aging. However, after a few months of consistent B12 supplements and focusing on overall nutrition, he noticed improvements in the feeling in his feet, and his gait became steadier. He shared with immense relief, "I feel like I can trust my legs more now." This experience highlights that many people may accept imbalance and shaky steps as an inevitable part of getting older, when exploring potential underlying causes like nutrient deficiencies can sometimes lead to meaningful improvements. Now let's talk about how common this deficiency can be, especially among our older population. Studies consistently show that up to 20% of older adults in the US may have a B12 deficiency or levels that are considered low normal. And the important part, you don't have to be dangerously low to notice effects. Even a mild B12 deficiency can sometimes contribute to nerve symptoms like changes in balance, unexplained leg weakness, or a noticeably slower walking pace. This is something to be aware of because symptoms can progress slowly over time and may sometimes be mistaken for other conditions or simply aging. Someone might initially start with a slight occasional tingling in their toes, then potentially experience more difficulty walking confidently in the dark or on uneven surfaces, and over time may develop more noticeable balance concerns that can impact daily life. This can sometimes lead to a cycle where feeling less secure when moving may cause someone to move less, which in turn can further weaken muscles and impact balance, contributing to a decline in mobility and confidence. And if you're wondering why this happens so often, so frequently with advancing age, the answer is quite simple, rooted in our physiology. As we get older, our stomachs naturally make less stomach acid. That crucial stomach acid is absolutely needed to separate vitamin B12 from the protein in the food we eat, a process called intrinsic factor. If not enough stomach acid, vitamin B12 simply won't be released and absorbed effectively in the small intestine. So even if you regularly eat meat, fish, eggs, or dairy, all excellent natural sources of B12, your body might not be absorbing enough to meet its needs. Add to that the fact that many common medications older adults still take, like metformin, a common drug for managing diabetes, or various acid reducers such as PPIs and H2 blockers widely used for acid reflux, also directly interfere with B12 absorption, and you can clearly see why this becomes a widespread, silent, and often unrecognized issue for so many. For vegetarians or vegans, the risk of B12 deficiency is even much higher, almost a certainty, as this vital vitamin is primarily almost exclusively found in animal products. If you conscientiously follow this diet and haven't been consistently supplementing with B12, this is a critical time when you need to pay special immediate attention to your B12 intake. It's crucial for our vegetarian and vegan friends to be proactive about B12, as plant-based diets naturally lack this vitamin. Regular, consistent supplementation is not just recommended, but often absolutely essential to prevent deficiency and maintain optimal nerve health. So what might B12 deficiency look like in everyday life beyond the textbooks? Imagine getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and finding it a bit harder to balance in the dark, or feeling somewhat disoriented. Or taking a walk in your neighborhood and sensing that your legs aren't quite responding as you expect, or that your feet feel less connected to the ground. You might even subtly, unconsciously start walking with a wider stance, your feet farther apart than normal, simply to gain more stability. These can be common, sometimes subtle, yet important signs. If B12 deficiency is left unaddressed, it can contribute to unsteadiness and potentially increase the risk of falls. In severe and prolonged cases, if not addressed, it may unfortunately lead to long-term nerve issues that can affect walking and daily activities. This highlights the importance of early diagnosis and supportive treatment. The psychological impact of these symptoms can also be significant. Concerns about falling can sometimes lead to reduced social activity, a reluctance to leave the house, and a general shift in mental well-being, potentially including increased anxiety. Supporting B12 levels is not just about physical health, it's also about supporting your independence, confidence, and overall joy in living. But here's the truly reassuring good news: B12 deficiency is thankfully relatively easy to diagnose and remarkably straightforward to treat. A simple blood test readily available at your doctor's office can precisely reveal if your levels are too low. And if they are, a daily supplement, usually in a dose between 500 to 1,000 micrograms, mcg, can make a world of difference, often quite rapidly. Some people, particularly those with very severe deficiencies or significant absorption problems, may initially need a B12 shot or a series of shots administered by their doctor. B12 injections go directly into the muscle, completely bypassing the digestive system, ensuring the vitamin is absorbed efficiently and immediately available to the body. However, most people do just fine with a daily oral pill, and it's incredibly safe. B12 is a water-soluble vitamin, meaning your body takes what it needs and safely flushes out the rest through your urine. There's no known toxicity from regular recommended doses, which makes it a smart, low-risk solution for what can be a very big, impactful problem. Common forms of B12 in supplements include cyanocobalamin and methylcobalamin. Methylcobalamin is often the preferred choice because it's the natural active form of vitamin B12, more readily used and utilized by the body without needing conversion. When choosing a supplement, look for methylcobalamin prominently on the label for potentially better absorption and utilization by your body's cells. Remember to always discuss the best form and specific dosage with your trusted healthcare provider. You might also consider sublingual under the tongue forms, which dissolve in your mouth and can be helpful for those with absorption issues. If you're someone who's been consistently feeling wobbly, whose legs feel funny or disconnected in ways you can't quite explain, or who has experienced unexplained clumsiness, please consider discussing these concerns with your doctor without delay. They can help you get tested and explore if a supplement might be beneficial under medical guidance. Giving your precious nervous system the support it needs can help transmit vital signals more clearly and efficiently. I've heard from many older adults who, after addressing a B12 deficiency, shared that they felt less frail and more supported. When your nerves are functioning effectively, your legs can move with more certainty and precision. Your steps might feel more connected to the ground, more deliberate. You can begin to feel more trusting of your feet as that innate connection returns. And once you start feeling more confident in your legs, something truly positive can begin to happen. You might move more freely. You may feel more inclined to get outside. You can feel safer and more secure in your own body. And you might start remembering what it felt like to feel strong, balanced and capable on your own 2 feet, a wonderful sense of self-reliance. I've had the privilege to hear truly positive stories. An 80-year-old woman who had become quite unsteady and sometimes relied on furniture to move around her house shared that she found herself able to walk from room to room independently with more confidence after a few months of consistent B12 support. Or a 75-year-old man who had reluctantly paused his beloved fishing hobby because he had concerns about falling on uneven riverbanks shared that he was able to return to his passion. The change isn't just physical. It's about potentially restoring a sense of freedom, rekindling joy, and supporting the ability to continue living a full and active life, pursuing your passions. Remember, your amazing brain and your powerful legs are constantly intricately communicating. When that communication is supported, movements can feel easier and more enjoyable. B12 plays a role in helping that communication line stay clear and reliable. It's like upgrading your home internet connection from a slower speed to a faster one. Suddenly, everything feels quicker, clearer, and more reliable. Now that we've talked about your muscles and your nerves, 2 crucial pillars of mobility, there's one last incredibly important vitamin we need to discuss, and it directly fuels both your physical energy and your crucial coordination. It's the quiet helper behind literally every single step you take, every movement you make. And if it's running low, you might find your legs feeling like they're unexpectedly made of lead, heavy, and unwilling to move. Let's explore this third and final key vitamin B1, also known as thiamine, and how you can effectively put it to work in your daily life to reclaim your vitality. Now let me ask you something a little personal, something many people experience but rarely speak about. Have you had days or even weeks where your legs just don't want to cooperate, where they feel stubbornly resistant to movement? Not just feeling generally weak, but like they're unusually heavy, sluggish, slow to move, or completely utterly drained of energy, almost as if you're trying to walk through thick, wet cement or wading through deep water. If that's been happening to you more often than usual, there's one quiet, often overlooked deficiency that could be squarely to blame. And it's one hardly anyone, even many healthcare professionals, talks about enough: vitamin B1, also widely known as thiamine. This one's fundamentally different from the others we've discussed, each with their unique role. Vitamin D primarily keeps your muscles strong and your bones robust. Vitamin B12 meticulously keeps your nerves sharp, ensuring crystal clear communication throughout your body. But thiamine, its role is utterly foundational. It's what directly helps your body efficiently turn the food you eat, particularly carbohydrates, into real usable cellular energy, the fundamental fuel your body needs to operate everything, especially your active muscles. It's precisely like the spark plug in your car engine. Without it, even if your car has plenty of gas, the engine simply can't ignite and run. Similarly, without enough thiamine, your muscles, especially those large, hard-working ones in your legs, simply can't get the energy they desperately need to work properly, to contract powerfully, and to sustain activity. And when that crucial energy conversion process falters, things begin to shut down, slowly, subtly, yet effectively. Some people vividly describe it as feeling like their legs are giving out, or jelly-like, halfway through a relatively short walk. Others say they feel utterly exhausted just going from one room to another, a debilitating fatigue that seems disproportionate to the activity. But what's truly happening inside your body at a cellular level is this: without sufficient thiamine, your muscle cells cannot efficiently produce ATP, adenosine triphosphate energy from glucose, which is your body's main preferred fuel source. So even if you eat a perfectly balanced diet, rich in carbohydrates, your muscles fundamentally feel starved of energy, deprived of the spark they need to perform. This is because thiamine acts as an essential coenzyme, a vital helper molecule in crucial metabolic pathways that transform carbohydrates into ATP energy. The universal energy currency every single cell in your body uses for every function, from muscle contraction to brain activity. When this critical energy production process stalls due to thiamine deficiency, muscle cells literally cannot generate enough force to contract and sustain normal activity, inevitably leading to that heavy, weak, and utterly drained feeling in your legs. Think about it, every movement from a simple blink of an eye to a strenuous marathon run requires a constant, abundant supply of ATP. Thiamine ensures that your body's intricate energy factories, known as mitochondria, located within your muscle cells, are working at peak efficiency. When thiamine is deficient, it's akin to having a widespread power outage in those crucial cellular energy factories. Your muscles are structurally sound, they're physically present, but they just can't get the electrical juice needed to perform. This isn't about laziness, lack of motivation, or even physical deconditioning. It's a fundamental biochemical breakdown in the body's intrinsic energy production system. This can lead to a pervasive, unyielding sense of fatigue that even extended rest doesn't seem to alleviate, because the problem isn't just about being tired, but about the body's fundamental inability to efficiently generate and utilize power at a cellular level. I once met a gentleman in his 70s who shared with me that he felt like his legs had become strangers to him. "They're physically there," he said with a bewildered expression, "but they simply don't want to move or obey my commands." He, like so many others, genuinely thought it was just an expected, challenging part of aging. It turned out he had low B1 levels, a deficiency that had gone unnoticed for a while. And in a relatively short period, after consistently supplementing and making conscious efforts to include thiamine-rich foods in his diet, he began to feel that the heaviness in his legs noticeably lessened, replaced by a feeling of lightness and renewed energy. But beyond physical fatigue, thiamine deficiency can also subtly yet significantly influence your coordination, your innate reflexes, and your ability to maintain balance. Thiamine is important for optimal nervous system function, including supporting the nerve signals needed for quick coordination and reflexes. When these vital neural pathways aren't properly nourished, when they lack this essential spark, you might find yourself responding slower in reactions, potentially more prone to unexpected stumbling or struggling with movements that require precision. In severe thiamine deficiency, there is a condition called dry beriberi that can profoundly affect the nerves in your legs and feet. Individuals with this condition may experience persistent tingling, burning numbness, and eventually develop a characteristic shuffling or staggering walk due to nerve impact. Some may even develop what doctors call foot drop, a condition where it's difficult to properly lift your toes as you step, which can cause your foot to drag on the ground and create a tripping hazard. It's incredibly important to be aware of these types of signs, as they always warrant a conversation with your doctor. While full-blown severe beriberi is quite rare these days, especially in developed countries like the United States, understanding the impact of even mild thiamine deficiency can be very beneficial for older adults. Now, before we panic about rare, severe conditions, let's reiterate, full-blown beriberi is indeed rare these days, thanks to improved nutrition and food fortification, especially in developed countries like the United States. But mild or moderate thiamine deficiency, that's surprisingly frustratingly common, especially in older adults. Why does this happen so often? Because when we age, our appetites may naturally decrease, leading to reduced overall food intake. We may also unconsciously gravitate towards eating more refined carbohydrates like white bread, white rice, or sugary snacks, which have very little natural B1 because thiamine has been sadly stripped away during the processing of these foods. Many older adults may also experience difficulty chewing or digesting certain thiamine-rich foods, like fibrous meats, nuts, or various beans, leading them to opt for softer, more easily digestible but unfortunately less nutritious options. This subtle but significant shift in dietary habits, often for very practical reasons, can unknowingly and gradually reduce the intake of vital nutrients like thiamine. And another incredibly important factor is certain medications, especially diuretics commonly prescribed for high blood pressure or heart failure, which can unfortunately flush B1 right out of the body by increasing urine output. Diuretics by design increase urine output to eliminate excess fluid. And thiamine, being a water-soluble vitamin, is easily washed away and excreted in the process. Alcohol is also a highly significant risk factor. Excessive chronic alcohol consumption can severely deplete the body's thiamine stores and aggressively interfere with its absorption and utilization, which is why thiamine deficiency, often leading to Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, is sadly common in chronic alcoholics. Even a diet that seems normal or adequate, like routine toast for breakfast, plain noodles for lunch, and crackers and tea for dinner, can be severely lacking in thiamine if we're not conscious and careful about our food choices. Food preparation methods also play a critical role. Thiamine is a heat-sensitive vitamin, so overcooking or cooking foods at excessively high temperatures can destroy a significant amount of this vital nutrient in your food before you even consume it. For instance, boiling vegetables vigorously can cause a considerable loss of thiamine as it leaches directly into the water. Steaming, quick stir-frying, or roasting can often be better cooking methods for preserving this delicate vitamin's content. And when the body may not have enough B1, the signs can sometimes appear slowly, subtle. Memory changes, shifts in mood, increased irritability, and yes, leg weakness, muscle cramps, or noticeable difficulty walking any significant distance without tiring quickly. You might find yourself feeling more irritable, losing interest in previously enjoyed activities, or struggling unexpectedly with concentration. Some people may also experience unexplained digestive issues. These symptoms are unfortunately sometimes overlooked or attributed to aging becoming part of the accepted narrative. However, if they appear consistently alongside a heavy feeling in the legs or reduced mobility, thiamine could be a factor to explore. The subtle nature of these symptoms can make them easy to dismiss or misinterpret, which is why it's so important to be aware and connect these observations. You might initially think, "Oh, I'm just having an off day." But if those off days start to become more frequent, more pervasive, that could be a signal from your body to explore further. Just like with vitamin D and B12, understanding your body's needs can be very beneficial. If you've been consistently feeling like your legs can't quite keep up with your mind, if walking a block feels like a significant effort, or if you've had more unexplained stumbles lately, without really knowing why, please talk to your doctor without delay. A blood test, or even just a thorough conversation about your dietary habits, lifestyle, and persistent energy levels could provide valuable insights into whether thiamine might be playing a role in your symptoms. While diagnosing thiamine deficiency can sometimes be a bit more nuanced than with D or B12, as standard blood tests may not always accurately reflect active thiamine levels in cells. Sometimes a trial of thiamine support may be explored by your doctor to see if symptoms improve. This is often a very practical and effective approach when clinical observations suggest a deficiency, and if you are indeed low in thiamine, the solution is gentle, natural, and remarkably powerful. The recommended daily amount of thiamine for most adults is about 1.1 to 1.2 milliliters, which you can typically obtain through a balanced, varied diet or a good quality multivitamin. Foods like beans, peas, sunflower seeds, whole grains, not refined pork and liver, are truly great natural sources. Whole grains, unlike their refined counterparts, retain the thiamine-rich bran and germ, which are stripped away in processing. So prioritize brown rice, hearty whole grain bread, steel-cut oats, and quinoa in your diet. Nuts and legumes are also excellent sources. A handful of sunflower seeds or a warming bowl of lentil soup can provide a significant amount of thiamine. For example, a single serving of many fortified breakfast cereals in the US can often provide 100% of the daily recommended intake of thiamine, making it an easy addition. But if you've been severely low for a while, your doctor might suggest a higher therapeutic dose for a short period, and most people remarkably feel a noticeable positive difference within just a few days or weeks when their energy metabolism kickstarts. You won't suddenly start running marathons or competing in triathlons overnight, but you might find yourself feeling steadier and more grounded when you stand up. Walking might feel less like a chore and more like something you genuinely look forward to again, something enjoyable. And that reassuring sense of energetic connection, that seamless communication between brain and legs, can be supported. I'll never forget one inspiring woman who shared her experience after exploring thiamine's role. She had struggled for months with persistent fatigue and balance issues. After a few short weeks of a consistent approach, she happily shared, "I can walk to my mailbox again without needing to hold on to the fence." That might sound like a small improvement to some, but to her it represented a regaining of independence. It meant renewed confidence. It meant a tangible hope for a more active future. This is what supporting your body with needed nutrients can contribute to. Not a magic cure, but a positive shift based on scientific understanding, quietly working behind the scenes to help someone who may have been struggling in silence, simply needing a vital spark. Think about the wonderful opportunities that this renewed energy and stability can open up in your life. This could include the ability to confidently walk to the grocery store on your own, to comfortably join a local dance class or a light exercise group at the community center, or simply to stroll through the park with friends enjoying nature without feeling as anxious, wobbly, or exhausted. Thiamine is an important nutrient. It can be a supportive factor in helping to unlock the energy and freedom of movement you may have felt diminishing. It contributes to your body's capacity to sustain itself and operate efficiently, and that can bring a valuable sense of empowerment, self-reliance, and joy. This increased energy often seamlessly translates into a more active social life, a potentially improved mood, and a general feeling of vitality that radiates from within. It's about fundamentally supporting your body to reclaim the joy of movement and the ability to fully engage with the world around you. So, here we are, my friends. We've taken a comprehensive journey exploring 3 important nutrients that can sometimes be overlooked, factors impacting your energy and mobility. If anything in this detailed video resonated with you and you thought, "That sounds exactly like me," please know this deeply. You are not alone in these feelings. And this, my dear friends, is about empowering yourself with knowledge. You see, managing your health as you age means learning how to support your amazing body in new, smarter, more informed, and ultimately more effective ways. Vitamin D can help support your muscles, contributing to energy and efficient contraction. Vitamin B12 can help support your vital nerves, promoting clear communication and steady balance. And vitamin B1 thiamine can help fuel your legs with cellular energy, assisting them in converting food into the raw strength you need to move. These are not magic solutions. They're simply fundamental nutrients that your body benefits from, which can support your potential for well-being. Think of your body as a loyal friend. It has been with you faithfully through so many years, through countless experiences. Sometimes this friend might send you subtle signals, a little stumble, a moment's hesitation when standing, a feeling of heaviness. These are not just signs of getting older. Sometimes they are signals from your body asking for support. And the hopeful part, that support is fundamentally within reach. It doesn't always require complex procedures. Sometimes simply identifying and addressing nutrient needs can make a meaningful difference. Understanding the unique role of each of these 3 important vitamins can truly profoundly transform how you view your own health, your capabilities, and your mobility. It powerfully shifts the perspective from "I'm experiencing changes" to "I can optimize my body for better function." It brings a valuable sense of control, hope, and proactive well-being. Imagine the joy of being able to walk in the park longer, with more ease, the confidence of being able to climb stairs more comfortably, or simply getting up from the dinner table, feeling more stable. These seemingly small moments, when supported, can significantly improve your quality of life, bringing more freedom and less concern. I've been fortunate enough to hear from many individuals who have shared positive changes after exploring these areas. For example, Mrs. Susan, a vibrant 76-year-old who previously found longer trips challenging due to leg weakness, shared that after discussing her vitamin D levels with her doctor and consistently following a plan, she felt more supported and confident in her legs, even pushing her own shopping cart with more ease. Or Mr. Richard, 69, an avid outdoor enthusiast whose passion for hiking was impacted by night cramps and numb feet. After his doctor identified his B12 levels and he began a supportive regimen, he shared he was able to return to his beloved trails. These stories highlight the potential benefits of understanding and taking informed action for your health. So today, if you've heard something in this video that resonated with you or offered a glimmer of hope, please don't let it just sit there, a fleeting thought. Take one decisive, proactive step. Maybe it's making that phone call to your doctor tomorrow morning and specifically asking to check your vitamin levels. Many progressive doctors now routinely check for vitamin D, but don't hesitate to specifically ask about B12 and B1 tests if you have any of the related symptoms we've discussed. A simple, quick blood test can provide valuable information and be a great starting point for your health journey. Maybe it's exploring a quality, reputable multivitamin specifically designed and formulated for older adults, which often contains appropriate safe dosages of all three of these vital vitamins. Always look for products from reputable established manufacturers, ideally with third-party certifications like NSF or USP if possible, to ensure impeccable quality purity and that the product contains what it claims. Read the labels carefully to understand the dosage and start with the recommended amount. Then adjust under your doctor's expert guidance if needed. Investing wisely in your health through a reliable, high-quality supplement is a practical, empowering choice for many. Maybe it's simply adding a bit more safe, sensible sunshine to your week, perhaps enjoying a delicious salmon dinner, or incorporating more nutrient-dense spinach and whole grains into your meals. Make consistent outdoor walks a cherished part of your daily routine. Even just 15-20 minutes in the early morning or late afternoon light can make a truly significant, measurable difference in your vitamin D levels and overall well-being. Actively seek out delicious and nutritious recipes that creatively incorporate fatty fish, whole grains, a variety of nuts, and diverse legumes to ensure you're getting these vital vitamins from natural food sources as much as humanly possible. Consider joining a local walking group or a gentle exercise class specifically designed for seniors. It adds a wonderful social element, provides accountability, and keeps you actively motivated on your journey to strength. Remember, one small, thoughtful step forward is all it truly takes to change your direction to begin a new chapter of vitality. Because you unequivocally deserve to move through life with unwavering confidence. You deserve to stand tall and steady, secure in your own body. You deserve to feel robustly strong, capable, and vibrant in your own body no matter your chronological age. Independence, unshakable confidence, and profound joy in movement are important aspects of life, and they are absolutely achievable. Rather than simply accepting weakness or imbalance, see it instead as a valuable signal. Your amazing body is sending you a precious opportunity to listen attentively, respond intelligently, and provide it with what it needs to thrive. And if this video has helped you in any way, if it sparked a thought or offered a glimmer of hope, I'd genuinely love to hear from you. Leave a comment below, even just to say, "That's me," or to share a small positive change. You truly never know who might read your heartfelt words and feel less alone, more understood, and more inspired because of them. Sharing your experience helps build a supportive, empathetic community where everyone can learn from and uplift each other. This vibrant community is precisely where we learn, together, grow together, and confidently support our strength together. And don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to our channel. Every single week we share simple, practical, science-backed insights designed to help you feel better, move easier, and live with more boundless joy and purpose after 60. Until next time, take exceptional care of your incredible body. Listen closely to its wise signals and remember this truth. Strength can be supported throughout life. Sometimes it just needs a little invitation, a little understanding, and a little targeted support to flourish. Stand up, step out, and live a life brimming with strength, confidence, and abundant freedom.